Good evening. Today I will be discussing the art of palmistry. So I have a job at a summer camp, and last summer one of my co-counselors was very interested in reading palms. And she decided to show some of us, and I thought it was really cool. So some people think it's based on like a cult or Satanist sort of practices, but that's absolutely not true. And I will be demonstrating some history and some modern practices, as well as showing you guys how to do it, basically. So palmistry has been around since ancient times. According to the encyclopedia I read, it dates back over 2,000 years to India. And it's more of a personality test than a fortune device. And it can tell you things like how you think and what kind of relationships would best fit you. And during the Renaissance, it was actually put on a list of forbidden arts. And even now, it has sort of a taboo on it, but there's absolutely no need for that. So the art of palmistry tends to be given a mysterious and evil sort of reputation. And even Oscar Wilde, who was an author during the Victorian era, he wrote a book called Edward Heron Allen and the Palmistry Craze of the 1880s. And it's basically about how absolutely nuts these people are. The media, for example, gives them all sorts of bad juju. It pretty much depicts them as either being evil and cryptic, like witches, or absolutely out of their minds, like crazy people. But that's not true either, since it's such an easily learned art. Lots of people tend to take it up, and so self-proclaimed psychics will include it as part of their services, and it actually is very helpful. And the people who seek out these sorts of services, the palm reading, tend to be people who aren't looking for like ways to escape death, but more like self-identity and hope. Okay. And that came from a book called Mystical Mischief that I read. Now I'd like to take a minute to walk everyone through the basics of palm reading. This is the fun part where you guys get to play along. And I gave out handouts, and I got those handouts from, excuse me, I forgot his name, Wallen. And he had a magazine article called How to Read Palms. So this is where my slideshow comes in. So first we have, go ahead. We have so the lines on your palms represent different aspects of the person. And in order to most accurately do the readings, you use your dominant hand. And for centuries, the dominant hand has been associated with the personality and tendencies of your will, things like that. So while both hands are similar, you can look at them, they're not the same. So it's important to use your dominant hand. So first we have the lifeline. And the lifeline runs from between the thumb and forefinger down to the middle of the wrist. So it also helps if you splay your hand out more. It highlights your lines in your palm. And the lifeline doesn't have to do with the length of your life so much as it does like how you live your life. So for example, I have a fork in mine at the very end. I also have a short one. Who knows what that really means, but I have a fork in mine, which means I might have to make a choice that will change my life one way or the other. It's just simple things like that. So everyone take a minute to look at your lifeline. You can read the handouts where different aspects might mean. All right, while you do that, I'm going to move to the heart line. So the heart line is this top line in the palm right here. And it determines relationships and the strength of those with your friends and romantic aspects as well. Now, there's a way, like just a really simple one, but put your hands together like this. Okay, then open them and look at where your heart lines either meet or one will be over the other. So if you're looking at it like this, if the left one's higher, it means you're slower to enter relationships and more cautious, but very devoted. If they touch, it means you're looking for someone very much like yourself. And if the right one is higher, it means you're very quick to enter into relationships with someone, but also quick to possibly leave them. So you're very quick. All right, so moving on to the headline. The headline determines how you think, like what makes your brain work. So the headline runs from between the thumb and forefinger, and mine runs straight across my palm. And so, for example, a short, straight headline might mean you look for to-the-point, practical solutions to problems, whereas a curved, longer line might mean you have to think about things and you come up with a creative sort of solution for your problems. Okay? And lastly, the fate line. Now, not everybody has a fate line, and it's okay if you don't, but I have one. And it runs straight down the center of the palm. And it is really just special in the way it interacts with the other lines that cross it. So you have the heart line and the head line and the life line, and you can see how those interact with it, how your fate might play a part. Now, this one's a little bit more future fortune telling, but for example, mine breaks right before it hits my heart line and then picks up after my heart line, which tells me I might have a very serious relationship that has something to do with my purpose on earth. It's real cryptic and really exciting. So that covers the 4 basic palm lines. There are several more, but those are the main ones. So in conclusion, tonight I talked about the history and basics of palmistry. And I really hope I piqued your interest. And I thank you all for coming tonight, especially you two, our special guests. So thank you very much.